Welcome everybody to season 3. I'm Standard Lord, joined again with Speed Demon and Yakes87. As always, guys, don't forget to give us a follow on the Discord, the Twitter, and the YouTube. All episodes are recorded and put up later on after the show, so you can catch us there. With that being said, we've got a few announcements to get through. Firstly, major one, you guys are going to see a different show as of next week. Yakes is leaving us this season for his summer hours. You'll see him throughout the season pop in as a special guest and stuff, but we're keeping him in the team, but you won't see him much after this week throughout the season, so you'll be stuck with me and Speed. But we'll obviously assess that later on, and you know, once his work life settles down, we'll see where he's at. Also, in another announcement, next week, introducing a new topic. We've got up-and-coming games, so games that are releasing within the week of the show.
Yeah.
So between the two shows, we'll have some games that are coming out. We'll have some links for you guys if you want to check them out, get ready, pre-downloads, all that kind of stuff.
It won't be dedicated to one particular platform either. We will try and gather information from multiple platforms, so it's not like some sort of bias.
It'll all be whatever's releasing on
our multi-platform friendly talk show.
Nothing like PC only sort of thing. No, we'll make
Unless
sure
you play on PlayStation. No, I'm just. I say that as the one guy with the.
Anyway.
Speed. Got anything for us? We'll touch on anything.
So we had the Glimesh Community Pride Month, all of June, which raised money for the Trevor Project. It started off with a real big bang. It just blew the goal out of the water. The original goal was $500. By the end of the month, everyone had raised, from what we believe is the final figure, $3,370, which is not bad. I mean, it's
well done to Glimesh on that.
It's better than nothing. But yes, very well done to everyone who participated in that one. Was there any other news? I don't think there was. We'll roll into everything. So the biggest thing that's happened over the last 4 weeks would be
3 weeks,
3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, has been everything to do with Mark Zuckerberg and Meta. And what an absolute shit show that
what a surprise
turning out to be. I mean, I saw so many articles, right? So at least 4 or 5. He's just completely losing the plot.
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
But it's not.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's more along the lines of watching the Hindenburg blow up at like 1,000 times the scale is what we're witnessing here. It's just an absolute shit show. So Mark Zuckerberg has told staff in a QA session that he plans on turning up the heat on performance goals as the company's growth slows. He said, "If I had to bet, I'd say this might be one of the worst downturns we've seen in recent history." Couldn't understand why.
So
maybe it's because he's not selling data anymore.
Maybe, yeah, but you're going to make performance harder when there's no people there to make your performance happen. That's logical. Well done.
He also reportedly told staff that the company would bring in more aggressive targets with the aim of losing employees who cannot meet them. He said, realistically, there are probably a bunch of people at the company who shouldn't be here. Part of my hope by raising expectations and having more aggressive goals and just kind of turning up the heat a little bit is that I think some of you might decide this place isn't for you and that self-selection is okay with me.
So in other words,
I'll
Quit,
take
'cause I
bad
can't- I
bosses
don't
for
wanna
400,
fire.
please.
Yeah, so basically, we're raising the bar and standards, and if you don't like it, off
The
you
door's
trot.
out.
I mean, it comes down to the fact that we've cut out sales of your personal data, which is a huge chunk of our profits. So to make up for that, we're going to push harder in every other market, even though it's not even physically possible. And if you can't keep up, you're out of here.
Yeah.
If you're not on
What?
Facebook, you're not using it by now, why are you going to go there? I mean, the guy's got more lawsuits than anyone on the
like,
I
planet.
don't even know, like, who would be making a new Facebook account? Like, I feel like only the people that are using it are the people that are only there, and people are just slowly leaving.
It's either people of, say, our age. We're sort of on the cusp, right? Where we use Facebook, but it's not like a major thing. But when you get to, like, you know, the baby boomers and like that older generation of people, like
they're all over Facebook.
I mean, they're all over, and they get sucked into clicking on those links and playing those games that steal their data, and they end up getting hacked, and they're like, "Oh, got hacked." That's the reason why you literally click on everything.
Oh my god, I got hacked.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh no, my account got hacked and it's sending out friend requests to everyone. Oh, I need to tell everyone about that.
I just clicked on the little cartoon character that says "click here for $5,000."
Yeah,
I don't know about it.
Yeah, there was a game that told me, you know, what I could be in life just by choosing my star sign. I don't understand what happened. But I mean, there's that point. But the current generation of like kids and 20-somethings, like, they're not going to be on Facebook. They don't they don't understand Facebook at all. To them, Facebook is like the MySpace for us. You know, it's just never gonna. They're never gonna.
I feel like almost everybody has migrated off of Facebook onto Twitter and Instagram, and I know Instagram is still like a meta project, but it seems to be like that's where people my age and younger are at more than anything, is Instagram and Twitter.
Well, I mean, if you I don't know what you guys are seeing, but on my Facebook wall, I've just got it to scroll. But half the shit I see is Instagram pictures anyway.
I don't even use Facebook anymore. The only reason I use Facebook is for Messenger, because that's where I chat with all of my friends that still have Facebook accounts, and they don't use Facebook. They just use Messenger, because who texts each other anymore? We just instant chat each other. Like, that's what we use. Like, if I didn't have to use Messenger to like keep in contact with so many people, I would just delete my Facebook account, because I don't even use it. I get all of my like things that I'm interested in from Twitter, because it's a fully customizable timeline where I only get the crap I'm interested in seeing on a day-to-day basis.
Well,
there's no reason for Facebook.
Yes and no. I mean, I've noticed on Twitter, like especially on mobile, I will receive like notifications and, you know, tweets pop up about shit that I literally do not care about. Or because like it's trending, or because someone I follow has liked it, or something like that.
That's what I've started to notice too a lot on Twitter, is that if Yakes likes it, it comes up on my wall, and it's just like, I don't care that he's looking at purple hair dye. I want blue.
But like, even like Instagram, like current
I
generation.
apologize to everybody for all the NASCAR posts that may show up on your feed.
But like, even Instagram's on that sort of cusp of this generation's probably not going to use it, but they might. I mean, it's more, it's more towards Twitter, which is way easier to use than Facebook, and like TikTok. So
Twitter just needs to up its cap, its letter cap. That's all.
Well, I did see that they are looking into longer tweets via some other path. So it's not actually a tweeting system. It's more like a sidestep around the current process to allow you to tweet longer tweets or something. Anyway, so Zuckerberg has also told Meta staffers the company had reduced its hiring targets for engineers for this year to 6,000 or 7,000 from the 10,000 it had previously. I mean, that concerns me. I mean, you're losing thousands of engineers, yet you're pushing for the metaverse. right? Which requires all of these engineers. It feels like
But
he's
does it
just
really
shooting himself
require
in the foot.
10,000 engineers, though? I mean,
But this is something he's willing to throw his entire life into. Just he's 100% metaverse. Like
He reminds me
all
of
he
like
cares about.
Captain Ahab.
Hmm.
All right, must get the whale.
Yeah, gotta venture out for that elusive whale.
Let's say he cuts 3,000 engineers. Is that really going to hurt his overall project, though? Like, I mean, he's still going to have 7,000 engineers.
No,
like,
because he's
it's not
still
going to
be
stop meta going.
No, it's not going to stop him from pursuing the metaverse.
No, that's right.
But nothing
will
hurt
stop him.
The 3,000 people that currently have jobs that would not have jobs because
that's right.
Yeah,
kind of shitty.
Yeah. So Mark also told CNBC's Jim Cramer that the metaverse could be a considerable part of the social network operator's business in the second half of the decade. He said, "We hope to basically get around 1 billion people in the metaverse doing hundreds of dollars of commerce, each buying digital goods, digital content, different things to express themselves. So whether that's clothing for their avatar or different digital goods for their virtual home, or things to decorate their virtual conference room, utilities to be able to be more productive in virtual and augmented reality and across the metaverse overall. Experiences in the metaverse can be more immersive than text, photos, and or videos, which are pervasive on Meta's Facebook and Instagram, and so it will be a big theme for Meta over the next decade." As I said, he's going all in.
Does he really think that many people are going to spend money on cosmetics?
Yes, he genuinely does. He genuinely thinks that
the scary thing is
are going to spend money on his platform.
The scary thing is, he's that delusional. He thinks he's going to get 1 billion people in there that are going to use it for virtual reality.
Yeah, like I'm all for
why would we
escaping.
go and put on a headset and go into another platform to set up like virtual reality just to do this when we can just sit in a Discord, when we can sit in Zoom, we can sit in other things? Like, what?
I don't know.
I don't
meet up with real people in the real world.
Like, yeah, I can walk outside and shake the hand of my neighbor. I don't want to walk up to his virtual avatar who's standing there grabbing his nuts and then shake his hand. No, let me walk up to the bloke. Like, come on, like.
I mean, I'm all for.
He's so far out of tune with the world. It's not funny.
I'm all for escaping reality sometimes, but he wants everyone to essentially put the real world behind and just live in this virtual place. But
I mean, how are you going to do your job? Like, how could you do your job? Virtual reality. How could you do it?
Well, I couldn't.
Yeah, but how could you do your job?
Reality.
You couldn't.
It'd be absolutely impossible. It would not work. Right. So I wouldn't be able to live in the virtual world.
No, that means you'd have to have an AI robot or something there that's plugged in or connected to your headset, so you could do the things from home, sitting there in your chair. So that robot does it at the like. He's not even got common sense in his brain at this point in time. He's delusional.
Yeah, but
he needs a psych hold. That's what he needs.
It does get better. So Meta says it's yes. So Meta says its ultimate goal with its VR hardware is to make a comfortable, compact headset with visual fidelity that's indistinguishable from reality. Right? The company revealed its latest VR headset prototypes, which it says represent steps towards that goal. Inside of Meta's Reality Labs research division, the company uses the term visual Turing test to represent the bar that needs to be met to convince your visual system that what's inside the headset is actually real. The concept is borrowed from a similar concept which denotes the point at which a human can tell the difference between another human and artificial intelligence. they're trying to blur that line. That when you see like a 3D representation of a person in a film.
I mean, is he
It's the uncanny valley.
Is he trying to build Sword Art Online? Is that what he's trying to do?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's a very good point, though. I think he is. I think he is trying to build this virtual world that people just live in. That they would much prefer to live in that than the real world.
Do we not have enough psychological issues in the world at the moment without adding another 1 billion people to the list?
but you see all those stories, of people in living in virtual reality worlds, and then they come out of virtual reality, and it's just like dystopian sort of era where everything is run down and this pollution is bad, and
but yay, we got a cool virtual world.
Yeah, right. Essentially, it's Ready Player One. I think is what he's really going for here. So, for a headset to completely convince your visual system that what's inside the headset is actually real, Meta says you need a headset that can pass that visual Turing test. Essentially, the article carries on for 3 pages, going into depth of what would make a VR headset indistinguishable from reality, and waffles on about technical jargon, which I gave up on. I got about 3/4 of the way through the first page, and I'm like, I'm done. It's all good. He does. He needs a psych ward.
He needs some serious help. That guy is so delusional. He's going to hurt himself.
There is no way that Meta is going to be able to create a product that's going to be indistinguishable from reality.
No way.
Visually maybe. But I mean, there's that uncanny valley of, we as humans know what humans do. So even if it's a virtual reality person that does look real, the movements and facial expressions, they just don't add up to us.
No, they don't match.
How close they get. So, he's lost it. He's lost the fucking plot. I can't deal with Mark Zuckerberg anymore. I mean, but every week there's something new that you just
Metaverse. Yay!
Yeah.
He's diving down this rabbit hole, and he's the only one who wants to go down it.
I know.
But moving on from that, popular streamer Greek God X was temporarily banned from Twitch following a baffling sexist rant in which he declared that any prospective partners would need to give up their careers to cook and clean for him. He said in the clip, this goes to any women who want to date me, especially female streamers that want to date me. Okay, if you want to date me, you better believe I will be and I apologize for any sort of discontinuity with phrasing. Even if you're streaming, you're going to have to stop streaming. The streaming is ended for you. Your career is done, okay? I will stream while you cook for me and clean for me. And you look after the children while I gain all the money and give it to you, and I give it to our children for a healthy, secure life. He continued on with some other rather distasteful things, which I will not say. Along with, that they should always cook, clean, and stay in the kitchen, etc., etc. Don't be that person. Please. But he did get banned, and I believe he got unbanned, if I remember correctly.
He's probably on that do not ban list.
The effective Twitch whitelist of do not ban this person. Yeah.
So I mean, that screams a problem within No, not even just the industry of streaming or anything like that. It's just that's just mentality. That's just an upbringing. That just comes back to, him as an individual.
But this
And,
isn't the first time this has happened either.
No, but the sad thing is he'll have, out of his thousands of followers, he'll have 10% of those that'll agree solely with that. Oh yeah, I can totally get a.
Yeah.
Man, like, I don't understand.
Get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich, damn it.
Shit. Like, I get it. You want to supply, your partner and your kids with a good life, and you're making a shit ton off the stream, but you just realize you pretty much just ended your streaming career with that move. Like, you're going to lose a lot of your community because of that. I mean, is it really worth being so fake to get to the top, only to be real and lose it all? Like, all that hard work for nothing.
I would support my partner with the money that I earn from Twitch, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all right. But to say that, no, your life's done now. You stay in the house, you do things for me. Yeah, you look after the children, I pay you. That's slavery, in a nutshell.
I mean, that's basically what it is, yeah.
It is, yeah.
And it's wrong. Like, I mean, the whole level, the sheer fact that even came out of his mouth, I mean, it just shouldn't be around. Like, I mean, I'm for equal rights everywhere across the board, but that's just not being equal. That's just not even fair. He needs to just shut up and disappear behind a rock.
I think a larger punishment. I think a larger punishment should have been handed out for him. To be honest.
100%.
You shouldn't get a slap on the wrist for comments like that.
I read today that a member of FaZe Clan has now been permanently removed because of dropping racial slurs on stream.
Yeah.
That's permanent. Like, that is, they will not tolerate that sort of stuff. Why is it that Twitch is like, don't do that?
Because they want to be the good parent, don't they? They want to be I'm friends with everybody parent. I don't want to issue this.
It's a fucking
think about
business.
A good cop, bad cop, isn't it? Yeah, but they want to be like the good cop in it. Oh, come on, just do the right thing, and the bad cop over there going, nah, get him out.
Right. It's a business. You have to be
the thing
clean
is,
and cut.
If you make Twitch lots of money, you get to stay on the platform. If you're not making the money, they're going to just show you the door.
That's the way to do it on Twitch. Buy your way to the top. Once you're at the top level, you can't be touched. It's as simple as that. And I mean, look, we spoke about this last season with Facebook with those bans, and you'd be able to use the Zuck bucks to be able to buy your ban off. But it was the same. I was reading in the break when we were away on the 2 weeks there. And you probably would have seen this as well if you follow motor racing, but there was a driver in one of the junior categories, I think it might have been Formula 3, actually had his contract torn up because he made a racial slur during a video game, not even pertaining to what he was doing on track.
That happened.
He was playing a video game.
That happened 2 years ago in 2020 during the COVID shutdown.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson lost his job, lost sponsors because of what he said during an iRacing race. And then not only that, but then like a week later, Bubba Wallace actually had a sponsor pull their sponsorship from the team because he rage quit during an iRacing race that was broadcast on TV. And it was just like...
Because you're still representing that brand. And this is what I don't understand with Twitch. Like, you have these partners. So that person is representing your brand.
Yeah.
Do you want racial, sexist pigs representing your brand? Well, clearly they do, because that's all they have.
Well, because they don't even look at that. As you said, they look at the money that they're making. They're making money.
They care more about the money than having upstanding people represent their brand.
Right.
And real brands out there will immediately cut ties, just like the example you said with the Formula One driver, and just like my examples of NASCAR from a couple years ago. If you're not representing that brand in the way they want to be represented, goodbye.
You're out the door. And this is
which refuses to do that.
And this is why I really hope for smaller platforms, aka Glimesh and Tear, things like that come in the market. They do not offer partnership, because all you get is these fake SOBs that do what they can to get that name. Once they've got that name, they flip the switch and they become an arrogant pig, and they know that they won't be touched because Twitch has bred that into people, and it's bullshit.
Yeah. But it shouldn't just be that. It should be a zero tolerance policy.
Like, 100%.
At all. Like, if you are representing the platform, like, say, because you guys are a part of the GCT, if you went on some sort of sexist or racial rant, your position gone because
100%.
Zero tolerance.
100% it is. Yeah,
like, I would expect that to happen. Yeah.
And I'll be the first to put my hand up and say, like, for sure, like if I went on one of those rants, I would expect to be reached out from Pucko or Clone and say, thank you, but no thank you, and throw me out the door. I would expect that because you cannot breed what they're breeding over there on Twitch.
It's unhealthy, and it puts a bad name on streamers as a whole. Because
for sure.
There are a lot of us who are trying to do the right thing on a daily basis.
The worst part is they're so blatant and obvious that the rules don't apply evenly to everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that's the most frustrating part is you can just look at it and be like, oh, that person only got a 2-day ban for this, but this person that only has like 10 followers, they got a permanent ban for the exact same thing that the top streamer did. And it's just frustrating because, like, if you're gonna have a rule book, you need to enforce those rules fairly and evenly to everybody, or you shouldn't be allowed to have a rule.
Yes.
I mean, I do get some rules kind of like it does get a little bit kind of hard to balance certain things. But I mean, if it's a clear, like a straight out like sexist rant or racial rant, I mean, there's no room for that. I mean, that's
If I were to go onto Twitch and said the exact same things that this guy said, I would be shown the door and not let back in.
Yeah, can't be done.
Why
finished.
Is he banned for, what was it, 3 days, 7 days?
I think it was a 3-day.
3 day?
Sure.
Yeah. Why is he allowed to say those things, get banned for 3 days, and be like, oh, welcome back, please just don't do that again? That shouldn't be the case.
Because, like I said, they're trying to play that good parent. The one who won't yell at their child, won't smack their child, won't. It's like, oh, you want to go and play sport? Okay, don't worry about your homework. Off you go. Then he's not actually playing sport. He's out, breaking guitars and shit. The parents like, oh, that's not my kid. My kid's a good kid. That's all Twitch do. They just
the unfortunate part.
Gotta enforce the rules. Absolutely.
The unfortunate part
fairly to everybody.
Yeah. The unfortunate part about all of this is that a lot of businesses run under the same model. Like, regardless of whether it's streaming or a retail business or whatever, they all run under the same model. You kiss ass, you get up to a high position, you are essentially untouchable. You can get away with basically anything, and it just brush that under the rug. We'll just forget about that.
Look at Activision.
Yeah, like very rarely.
Same kind of thing.
I can say it with certainty from the company that I work for that they brush stuff under the rug, and and very rarely will they be like, right, you fucked up, you're going down.
In all fairness, I don't think there's a company out there that hasn't or isn't brushing stuff under the rug. But I mean, look, that goes to every business.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's been around for decades. Like, it's just been ingrained into every business.
Imagine how much better things would be if they didn't do that.
But this is where, say, smaller companies or smaller streaming platforms have the opportunity to be like, this is it. This is the rule set. You abide by this, or you get the punishment. Yeah, that's it. Like, it has to be clean cut. It has to be black and white. There is no gray area. There is no favoritism. It's just
because it makes a stand. It makes a direct channel. People then come into that channel. They fuck up and they get turf straight back out. Like, they know they either get in that lane and they stay in that, or they can bugger off. I mean,
it's something that has to happen.
It's simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, quite literally, stay in your lane. I mean, that's it. It's simple. It's an easy situation to deal with.
Yeah. But Twitch is also testing a new UI layout intended to boost discoverability. At present,
I hate it.
viewing the different game categories on Twitch brings up a grid view of various streams that need to be clicked on individually to view. The new version being tested adds a video at the top which autoplays as users click through the grid of streams beneath, before choosing to join the stream or follow the streamer. The chat for that stream is additionally shown on the right of the video and can be hidden to look through before you join. Twitch staff have confirmed that adverts will not be shown during this auto-playing preview video. The video will last about a minute before urging viewers to click through into the stream. The aim of this change is to boost discoverability, so viewers can get a taster of a stream before watching in full. Naturally, it has been met with mixed reviews, with some people loving the idea as it will allow streamers to be noticed without being on the front page, and others who don't want to have streams shoved in their face. I don't like any of it. Because as far as I know, it's still it will still only go for like higher tiered streams.
Naturally, yeah.
Or like partners.
I hate this idea. I hate the concept. I hate the way that is written, worded. Everything about this screams problems. I'm sorry, but it does. It screams problems. They're not listing criteria. They're not listing, is it aimed at smaller streamers, bigger streamers? Is it aimed at people who promote their stream with those stupid like promo tickets or whatever they've got? You know, you pay for your what you're boosting or whatever.
The boosting,
they're not highlighting anything.
Well,
they're just saying this is going to discover UI. No.
It's intentionally vague, so they don't have to give that information.
Yeah, but it's going to be vague until they release it, and it's still going to be vague, and it's going to be up to us to dig into the information to be like, oh, so that's the truth.
It's there now. I can look at it.
They market it as a way to check out a streamer to decide if you want to watch them. But here's the thing:
1 minute.
But it chooses that streamer.
If I want to check out a streamer, I'm going to click on their stream. I'm going to watch and be like, "This isn't for me," and just go somewhere else. Like, I don't need to be shown a video preview.
But I'm not going to go and support a streamer who's got like hundreds or thousands of viewers in there.
Right.
I want to scroll down to the people who have, I want to scroll down for 5 fucking minutes and find the people who have like, less than 5 or less than 10 viewers and be like,
can I just say,
these guys out.
On this subject alone, I've gone to the Twitch site. I've clicked on the homepage. Okay. There is now up the top is where they're saying about this new video system, right? And there is a podcast on that thing, but I mean, it's got 279 viewers. That's not discoverability. At 279 viewers, you don't need to be discovered. You're already discovered. I mean, let's get that real. Right under that is live channels we think you will like. The lowest viewer count on that is 86. At 86 viewers, you don't need to be discovered. Wake up.
I just pulled up the site myself. The top stream that's auto-playing right now has 11.4 thousand viewers. They don't really need discoverability at that point. And in the bottom section that says live channels we think you'll like, the smallest channel has 290 viewers.
Like this is not discoverability. This is promotion.
But this forces the Twitch meta of you need to be on the metrics. You need to chase those numbers. You need to be that person so you have the opportunity to have this opportunity.
Let me just highlight 4 channels off this page right now. First one that flashes up under the channels you may like is Amaranth, 10.2k viewers.
Why?
The next one is German 985 playing Cuphead. He's got 19,000 viewers. 19,000 viewers. Why is he on the front page? We move down to a Just Chatting, who's got 1.4k, and then another Just Chatting with 2.8k. Why are they there? That's not discoverability, Twitch. That is nothing more than promotion.
That's promoting your partners. So
Yeah, that's
they
exactly
can make,
what it is.
so they can make them more money. That's all it is.
That screams
It's-
money. It's not discoverability. The whole discoverability UI is shit. And I'm sorry, but it's a vocal point that I've been very vocal on Twitch's discoverability for a long time. And this just highlights they don't give a stuff about anybody that is, under 100 fucking
No.
viewers. They
No.
don't care.
Small streamers don't exist to them. They're just
No, they don't.
mud on the
Nope.
bottom of their shoe. That's absolutely worthless. But on the topic of discoverability, Twitch have announced their new tagging system that they will be implementing.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of having set tags that they created, you will be able to create your own.
Wow.
That sounds oddly familiar.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, I wonder?
Yeah, it's you know that meme. So can I copy your homework? It's like, sure, but change it up a little bit, and it looks exactly the fucking same. Yeah, it's that.
Yeah,
It's that all over. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it, but I think they might have got that idea from Glimesh.
Maybe. I mean, how many ideas have they? Well, how do I word this? Originally come up with to to support their creators.
Stolen. There's one word for it.
That have come from Glimesh. I mean, how many ideas? There's a good handful now.
I mean, it's hard to say because, I mean, like all things, especially for Twitch, are going to take time, but it seems very convenient that Glimesh launches, gives you animated emotes, and then all of a sudden, a month or so later, look what we're doing for partners. We've got animated. Like the tag
but now,
system,
like,
aren't they also upping the tag limit from 5 to 10?
Yeah.
So
you can have
again,
10 tags. But
Glimesh has had 10 tags since day one.
But they changed the whole emote system, so more people can access them.
Yeah.
Strange that would
strange,
happen.
isn't it? Yeah.
So
it's just they seem to be grasping at little things and pulling little just married in shit, like their own shit.
Yeah.
And then they'll feed it onto Trovo because Trovo's got the same framework. So they'll be like, hey, look, this is now a new update. Here now as well.
Yeah. So all in all, Glimesh, keep doing your thing. It's obviously working.
It's getting noticed. I mean, the chatter that I'm seeing now through different channels, it's there. Although, I know we touched on this once before, and I know we spoke about this with Clone, but I just feel the alpha is at a point where it's got to go, because I think that's holding a lot of people back. I think a lot of people still see that word alpha and testing it, shut it, fix it, and come back.
Yeah,
I think that's been something I've seen a lot more chatter around. When they come out of alpha, I'll give it a go.
Yeah. So
I think that's got to go. Personally, that's my opinion. Alpha goes. It's got to go.
Time that Glimesh, either drops the alpha tag completely and is just now Glimesh, or it goes Glimesh beta.
No, just get rid of it. I mean, the site functions. It works. You can stream it. You can use it. You've got everything there.
Yeah.
You've got all your support buttons. You can follow. You can chat. You can do all those things. Personally, my opinion is get rid of it. Scrap it. Gone. Just take it off. It's not needed, and it's causing a hold up. People are wanting to try this platform, but whenever that alpha is there, they're just not going to.
I guess if I had to take a wild stab in the dark, they would be waiting for the other features to roll in, like to be properly implemented.
Yeah,
they have in the pipeline before they move on to that stage.
I mean, I'm guessing there's obviously a reason that it's still there. I don't know. We spoke to Clint about this before, but I just think that in a whole, the platform's in a spot where that technically, for what an alpha is, we're not testing anymore. Get rid of it. Yeah. Just get rid of it.
I mean, you'll always be
a fully functional platform right now. It may be missing features, but the meat and potatoes of like what you can do on Glimesh is there.
But I mean, Twitch is still missing features. I mean, look, it's only just added tag systems. Create your own 10 tags. I mean, they're
so they've been,
they're
developing,
15 years old.
Yeah.
They've been developing Twitch for 10 years and it still doesn't.
Yeah, right. But like you'll always be testing something. You know, there'll be a new feature coming out. Everyone will be able to test it. So you'll always be in a testing phase of some sort. But no, I do have to agree with you. I think it is time that the alpha tag needs to go, and it needs to be treated as a fully functioning platform, especially if you know there's now a marketing team behind everything as well. So
it's just a lot of chatter that I've heard around socials, Discords, just things like that. You know, just listen. And a lot of people know I'm from Glimesh in general. They know I'm part of the team, and that's fine. But there's still, you know, just, you know, Lord, you know, when they get rid of the alpha, you know, that'll give me a bit more confidence that, you know, they're not. So it's a confidence thing. And I mean, look, let's be honest. If Trovo still had Trovo Alpha, would there be that many people on it?
I don't know.
No, of course not.
No.
You know, Brime
but
Alpha,
everyone,
would there be people there? No.
Yeah. I guess everyone associates alpha with something that's still heavily under development, that is most likely going to break on you until it's, you know, out of that alpha stage.
Well, I mean, alpha is usually that first test of anything, isn't it?
I mean, we don't want Glimesh to become like those early access games on Steam that are just actively being developed forever. That are just, you know, like Rust.
I will say, you know, Sea of Thieves came out of early access. Grounded's coming out of early access. So, you know, there's hope yet. But yeah,
that's just my personal take on it. You know, that's just hearing talk and chatter is Glimesh is making little ripples in the pond, but there's just people that just, you know, they're just flicking their finger around in there. They don't want to jump in.
Yeah.
But I think once they get rid of alpha and people say, oh, Glimesh no alpha, it's now a full-fledged thing. I think people are going to have more confidence that, shit, okay, now now they're rolling, and that's going to extend with the marketing. That'll make that a push.
What they need,
you're going to have more people using it, promoting it. That'll push. I think it'll start the motion of that snowball.
I guess what they need to look at is, you know, does the platform function without breaking? 99% of the time,
99.98% of the time, yeah.
The only time it breaks is because of fucking DigitalOcean or something like that. They're updating the server or some shit. Yeah. It's like the platform itself doesn't break. You know, the features don't necessarily break. I mean, obviously, some things need a bit of tweaking here and there, but it's on the whole, it works. It works as intended. And as advertised. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think it's time.
Yeah, I think it's time for alpha to go.
Yeah. But moving on from that, DICE have made some news. They are now doubling down on its commitment to the Battlefield franchise and fixing the recent Battlefield 2042 in particular.
Oh god!
DICE has ruled out a return of any of its other franchises for now. They've stated, "We are focusing on Battlefield 2042. There is no time for anything else, and this is what we want to do. In 3 years, we want to be the first-person shooter powerhouse that DICE deserves to be, and that is what we're going for." DICE has recently appointed General Manager Rebecca Kutaz confirmed any project such as Mirror's Edge was currently sat on the back burner. That upsets me. I mean, Mirror's Edge was a great game. And the fact that they're just solely in... well, this is a bit of a contradiction, though, because weren't they moving on from Battlefield 2042 because they realized that it was such a shit heap?
They were talking about it, but the problem is the feedback was good on the basis of the game. It was a lot of the engineering side of it that kind of failed. So they want to reinvest a little bit of time into it to get it back to the powerhouse shooter that it should be. It's actually been quite quiet on the review side since they announced they were going to scrap it. So people are kind of laid off, and they're now investing more time in it. It's actually starting to pick up a bit. I think if Battlefield can get back, if DICE can get, I know this is a long stretch, but if DICE themselves can get EA out of the picture and let DICE make the freaking game the way they want to make it, 2042 will be powerhouse huge. But the problem is EA just wants to stick their fingers in and just keep like poking at the pie until there's no pie left.
Everywhere, like all these publishing companies are the ones that need to get their share of the pot. You know, you look at EA, look at how they mock up games. Sony, Activision, like all these big companies just like stick their hands in, like, we need all the money we can get. We don't care about the game experience. We just want the money.
Yeah.
And it causes these games that would otherwise be fun to just crumble and fall apart, and everybody hates them.
Well, I mean, the thing is, they want instant return. They put $3 million into a game. They want that instant return, and then they want profit. So that's using all the in-game stuff where they make profit and sell the game.
Yeah.
They've got to make the profit.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Just quickly, I just want to touch on Taco Bell. You're saying end it out. So going to beta. There's nothing to actually shut down. There's nothing to actually fix. That's what we're talking about. So we'll touch on that a little later on.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, if you want to look at like gaming blunders, like just look at how Diablo Immortal, like the launch went.
Don't worry, I'll get to that later.
We'll get to Diablo Immortal? Okay. I will hold my thoughts.
I will make sure that makes its way in somehow.
I thought we could just segue from EA into Diablo, but I will wait.
No,
I will patiently wait. So
that's one that I will discuss a little bit later on.
Fair enough.
It's just very interesting that they're basically just giving up on their other franchises. Just solely.
They see a market for Battlefield at the moment.
I mean, it's a big
wish them
market.
the best of luck. Like, because you know, obviously, you want the game developers to have a game that they're proud of, and a game that's fun to play that the community reacts well to. But I think you're 100% right. Like, EA needs to step aside from that and just let DICE and the developers at DICE say, we're going to fix the problems with our game and we're going to make it fun.
Yep.
And you can take your microtransactions and go shove them somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that.
But
moving on from that, Microsoft is preparing to add mouse and keyboard support to Xbox Cloud Gaming. It said it will allow Xbox Cloud Gaming users to stream Xbox games, not PC ones, using a mouse and keyboard. We could see games like Sea of Thieves, Minecraft, Halo Infinite, and even Fortnite all support mouse and keyboard through Xbox Cloud Gaming. Alongside mouse and keyboard support, Microsoft is also offering developers more ways to improve streaming latency in their games. Now, this is the interesting part, not the keyboard and mouse. This is the kicker. Microsoft has been working on a new display details API, which can save up to 72 milliseconds of latency overall. This is achieved by using direct capture, which reproduces hardware features in software to eliminate the wait time for VSync and double or triple buffering, and even the scaling needed for TVs. Latency can drop as low as 2 to 12 milliseconds compared to 8 to 74 milliseconds through the traditional display pipeline. There are some limitations though. Direct capture only supports a maximum resolution of 1440p and doesn't support dynamic resolution or HDR just yet. The resolution limitation won't be an issue for most game developers right now, as Xbox Cloud Gaming scales games down to 720p on mobile and 1080p on PC and the web. Microsoft does eventually expect to support higher resolutions, but there's no timeline on 1440p or 4K support for the new Xbox TV app. They've said that's something we expect will change over time based on different devices, network conditions, and improvements to the streaming stack. There are videos out there showing the latency times between different delivery paths, and I do recommend going to check them out because they are rather interesting. Huge move.
But
and
No, that's big.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone that's used cloud gaming from Game Pass PC,
I can now say that I've tried it. I have tried it on mobile and PC, and there is a significant delay between input and what you see.
Yes. So
which
being
is
able to
upwards of 100 milliseconds.
Narrow that delay to almost nothing is amazing. And also finally adding mouse and keyboard support for these cloud gaming games is just like, why wasn't that a thing before? Like, I don't know.
So here's my thing.
That prevented that, but I'm so glad that's there.
Yeah.
My take on this whole situation is quite interesting because they're getting the Activision Blizzard buyout. They're introducing mouse and keyboard support.
I see where you're going with it.
They've also got the Riot games coming to Game Pass. That's Valorant, League of Legends, like things like that. Yeah,
and they're lowering a new display path that lowers latency to very low. I mean, I'm getting what you're putting down.
Are we going to see World of Warcraft on the Game Pass?
I hope so.
And cloud gaming. Are we going to see it? Are we going to see an iteration of World of Warcraft on console?
I mean, it's possible because
that is possible.
You can use mouse and keyboard on your console. It's been a feature for a very long time.
You couldn't play so much on a controller for World of Warcraft, but 100% you could play it mouse and keyboard.
But I mean, it even opens the door to League of Legends.
I've played a lot of MMOs that have, keybinds that are on PC that also have controller compatibility. Like, I've actually been playing a little bit of Elder Scrolls Online the past couple of weeks, and that game also has a working version on the console. And the way they have it work is you're only limited to like so many abilities. And I could absolutely see like a version of Warcraft that works on the console that says, hey, you could hotkey so many abilities and potions and whatever to your controller buttons, and here's how you can use them. Now, obviously, you wouldn't necessarily be able to play the game at a high level without access to all your hotkeys, but the average player could play the game, load it, try it out, do some quests, do some combat, do a dungeon or two. Like, they could play like 90% of the game on the controller. Like, the only thing you really wouldn't be able to do is high-level PvP, high-level mythic raids. Everything else, you could just map whatever buttons you want.
That's what I'm saying.
Play it on a controller. Like, it's possible.
I mean, but we're talking at the moment, an upgrade from 1080p to a maximum of 1440p.
Yes.
And they've cut the latency down to 2 to 12 milliseconds.
Almost half. Actually, no, it's below half, because what was their maximum? Like 76 before, 87.
74.
74, like 8 to 74.
Right, so it's variable,
it all comes down to
between 2 and 12. So
it all comes down to your hardware, your network connection. Just there's variable factors in that.
But if they can get it down to 12, that's that's pretty impressive.
But that would be 12 at 1440p. So if you're playing on mobile, where it scales it down to 720p, which you really wouldn't fucking notice on your phone anyway.
No, you wouldn't notice anyway.
You could get anywhere as low as 2 to 5 milliseconds.
Yeah, which would be phenomenal.
Which is pretty damn good. I mean, that's almost,
considering it's not a mobile game. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's definitely hitting the barriers of controller latency anyway. Between
it'd be damn close to it. Yeah,
it'd be
damn close to it.
It'd be really, really close. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see how that one goes. But also in that, if you're lucky enough to own a Samsung 2022 smart TV, then you will now have access to the Xbox Cloud Gaming. Simply open the Xbox app, connect a Bluetooth controller, and you're good to go. There is a small caveat though. You will only have access to free-to-play games available via the cloud like Fortnite, unless you have Game Pass Ultimate. So I'm pretty sure if you can afford to buy a 2002 Samsung Smart TV, you'll be able to afford...
They're saying Game Pass Ultimate.
Yes.
So that means, in theory, the Game Pass is just expanded to include the Samsung TV.
Yes.
Yes.
So Xbox Live Gold, Xbox Game Pass, PC Game Pass, and now cloud gaming on Samsung TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sony?
I know.
Hello, Sony. Sony! Hello! Often the winner.
Play your games everywhere.
No.
If it can run a game, it can play it on Game Pass. We're going to be playing Fortnite on fridges soon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually, I saw something funny on that.
If I get a chance to hit the Sony side of things, I will do it. If not, I'll cover it next week. So we had the Xbox Bethesda game showcase on a couple of weeks ago, and wow, what a show that was. Firstly, we actually got some gameplay footage of Forza Motorsport, which didn't look that bad, I must say, considering. They've stated that Forza Motorsport has been built from the ground up to showcase the Xbox Series XS consoles, with overhauled physics, new dynamic time of day, advanced car damage, and real-time on-the-track ray tracing. 1010 have said that Forza Motorsport is a generation leap in immersion and the most technically advanced racing game ever made. Really sort of jabbing it to GT7, aren't they?
They've got it, don't they? They're going to be
Forza
2 years
Motorsport
behind.
They've said that Forza Motorsport will run at 4K 60 on Xbox Series X and 1080p 60 on Xbox Series S. Looking at the demo and the gameplay, I'm very impressed with what they're bringing to the table. Will it be a hard competitor to Gran Turismo 7? It is really a good question.
I guess we've got to look at two things. I was thinking about this the other day, and it's funny you should bring this up, but realistically, have Gran Turismo and Forza ever been fighting
head to head?
They're two different games altogether. That's like asking, is Need for Speed in the same?
I think it's more about
it's a very different thing.
Bases fighting each other more so than the developers themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
well, you're right.
If you look at Gran Turismo, it's all about just the car. It's if you look at Forza, they've always been about the motorsport. It's been about the racing, the damage, the times and the drifting. It's always been about that. So can we really compare Forza with GT7? With
probably not
anything, no. I say we can't.
But people are going to see it as its competitor anyway.
They're going to, naturally, because console wars and game wars. It's going to happen, but theoretically, they're two separate games. That's like asking, is Warzone the same as? Yes, they're similar in platform style, like being a battle royale, but no, they're not. They're two very different games.
I think the difference is like Forza Motorsport is very good at being a game, and Gran Turismo is a game that wants to be a simulator, and I think that's where the big
this is where you strike me against that, because a simulator, you want to simulate what goes on in the car. And I'm sorry, but if you hit a tire wall and bounce off a fence and then take out another car, your car is not going to be straight and perfect. You're going to have dents and shit all over it. So that's
I guess Gran Turismo is taglined as the real driving simulator, because it's more about simulating driving than
whatever.
But it's not, because if you crash, you're going to take damage. Then you're not driving.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the licenses to get some of the cars on.
I think it's
allowed to actually like wreck a collector car.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's where the difference is. Where Forza has the rights to bring the racing to the game, the damage to the game. Gran Turismo is kind of like, it's kind of like there, but it's not that feature.
We say damage. I mean, damage is a very loose term when it comes to these games. What GT7? What damage? Essentially. But even Forza Motorsport 8, the revolutionary damage model that they're talking about is like enhanced scratches and dents.
It's not like anything crazy.
You're only going to have cosmetic damage.
Yeah, but I want like chunks of my front spoiler to come off if I hit the ripple strip too hard, or I want like decent damage. If I go plowing into a fucking tire wall, I want my bonnet to like crimple up and
if you drive a Formula car into a tire wall, the wings are going to fly off and shred and parts everywhere.
I think if you want that kind of level, you have to go to a PC sim. Like you're not going to get that on a console. It doesn't matter whether it's Gran Turismo or Forza. You're not going to get it. Yeah. I mean,
it's just one of those things that
one of the biggest sims has got a new damage model. But even so, like cars, like our supercars, in that game, if you lose your rear wing, you'd have no downforce, but they can still drive at 300 kilometers an hour. Like, there's a certain point where it's very hard to mimic and implement that exact damage model that's going to be there. But I feel if you're in a racing sim, aka GT7, Forza, whatever, then there's got to be some sort of penalty in the damage.
Yeah.
Like, you knock your wheel out, so your wheel's going to be weird wobble, so you're not going to be able to go flat out. You're going to be able to bash a wall and keep going and win the race.
Like, the Forza damage model is they showed like, oh, look, the cars get totally fucked up when you hit the wall. But it didn't really show like, oh, this is actually going to affect your handling or anything like that. All it was visual damage more than anything.
I'd say it would. I know it has done in the past, but it all depends on what level they go.
They've given us two options in the damage model though in Forza. You've always had the cosmetic, where it just visually looks like crap, but then you've been able to go into simulation damage. And if you hit hard enough, you'll rip wheels off. You'll sit there, and you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I think if they run more on the simulation damage, I think we'll see a lot of that carnage, that panels flying off and wheels and stuff like that. But if you set it to cosmetic damage, it's going to be no different. Except we fly through everything, smash doors, and crash cars and win. So
anyway,
I don't know.
That was just my little nitpick.
I think the two games are worlds apart anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, they always have been. So, I don't know. It would just be nice to have... I just hope that... I mean, we always hope that whatever they implement into Forza Motorsport, it doesn't repeat the same mistakes from previous versions.
Horizon 5, you're talking about?
No. That's a whole other ball game. But moving on from that, following Hideo Kojima's appearance on Xbox Bethesda Showcase, the haters have started coming out of the woodwork again, digging up a petition from last year to try and get Kojima's upcoming Xbox game cancelled. The petition on change.org was made around this time last year when rumors first started going around about Kojima teaming up with Xbox for a new game. Now that's been confirmed, this rather tragic campaign has been given a second wind, hitting 1,500 supporters shortly after the showcase ended. It reads, Kojima is betraying its loyal fans and has been blinded by greed. We must help him come back to the winning side. This is written on the change.org, this is on the petition. Amusingly, though, this petition is directed at 4 targets, primarily Sony, for some reason, Microsoft, a PlayStation podcast, and most strangely, the entire country of Japan. Understandably, a lot of the comments folks are leaving on the petition are rather special, so explore them at your own risk. But oh man, there's some people out there. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I hate to say it, but 1,500 people
Right,
in a
Kojima's not a
gaming world
stupid
of
person.
millions.
Yeah.
Like-
Kojima's not a stupid person. Like he's very switched on. He knows what he's doing. So
if there was an
it's-
Xbox exclusive leaving, the Xbox community would say, "All right, see you, bye, fuck off. You'll learn your lesson. You'll come back."
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
these
but it's
Sony
not like
freaks
we're
are
gonna start up-
Hideo, we never supported you then, but we
It's
will
like,
now. Come
no,
back.
the only original game that we had. No.
Death Stranding is an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah. I'll give him
Walking
that.
simulator.
Like, it was.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
but it's no different than SnowRunner.
Yeah, I mean, the game, right? The game itself is actually really good. It has
the game itself
really good story to it.
I love Death Stranding.
Yeah, but naturally, the Sony fanboys are getting all butthurt because they're no longer getting a new original game to the platform. They're just going to have to deal with remakes and remasters.
No, we're releasing a game for everybody. How horrible!
My question is, would they get so butthurt if he went to his own platform? What if he didn't go to Xbox? What if he just...
But I'm all right. I'm pretty sure it's a timed exclusive anyway. It's not like
so they're going to get the game
solely
as it is.
Xbox. Yeah, they're going to get it. They're just not going to exclusively get it. So yeah. Anyway,
but Xbox doesn't have exclusives. Remember, wasn't that their argument before he said?
No. Xbox has no games. Xbox has no games. Yeah, righto. And speaking of no games, Sony fanboys, Xbox announced at a showcase that a whopping 50 games will be launching on console, PC, and Game Pass over the next 12 months. 50 titles.
Original games, not remakes.
Yeah.
Titles coming this year include The Elder Scrolls Online High Isle, A Plague Tale Requiem, which I'm looking forward to, Grounded, the full release of Grounded, Overwatch 2, High on Life, Scorn, Gotham Knights, Hogwarts Legacy, Party Animals, Slime Rancher 2, plus many others coming this year. And the rest of them are coming in the first half of next year, which include Diablo 4, Redfall, Starfield, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, Stalker 2, League of Legends, Valorant, Arc 2, The Last Case of Benedict Fox, plus many, many other titles, all of which are either originals or sequels to games. There's not a single remake in there. Not one remaster in any of those 50 titles. And bonus is that many of those games releasing will be available on Game Pass. So
something I read this morning, I didn't get a chance to put into the folder. Skyrim's getting multiplayer. Co-op.
Is it now?
Officially, yes.
Ooh.
I will see if I can find that while I'm here.
Very interesting.
I read that this morning.
So lots of really good original titles.
Now, here's the question: is that gonna be a free update, or are we gonna have to buy the super extended Ultimate Edition of Skyrim to play co-op?
Yes.
No, I would go with it's going to be a viable add-on. Yes.
Yeah.
Knowing what they do with games. On some smaller game news, if you're a Sea of Thieves fan, you'll be excited that there's a new update coming soon. The Captaincy update will arrive with the game's 7th season this month. The Captaincy update has been on Rare's to-do list since before Sea of Thieves even launched. The update allows players to purchase their very own ship, name it, and decorate it with plunder gathered on their adventures. Originally, the idea was that players would store their ship in the Pirate Legend hideout beneath the taverns at each of the game's outposts. Now, players will use the game's newest building, located on the spare dock at every outpost. The purchase To purchase and outfit their new ship. Players can also use this new building to rapidly turn in their loot if they don't have time to haul it in down to the dock on foot. Huge thing. I mean, the naming of your own ship has been a heavily requested feature since the early days. So even just that one thing of having a nameplate on your ship is going to be huge. Another one, Power Wash Simulator is graduating from early access and will have a full launch on July 14th.
Yay!
With it will come one of the
Can't
biggest updates the game has seen to date. The devs have already teased on one of the biggest maps they have ever released in the game. So it is absolutely huge. It looks like sort of a wharf kind of deal. It is absolutely huge. Hopefully they bring in some new equipment, perhaps, to help with such a large ordeal, maybe? I don't know. Xbox Design Lab has finally launched in Australia. Finally. Bringing with it the ability to bringing with it the ability to customize every single part of your Xbox controller to your exact liking. The base price for the controller is $99.95 Australian and $119.95 for New Zealand. Prices can go upwards of $160 or something. Yeah, depending on what you do to it. Forza Horizon 5's newest expansion will be coming out on July 20. This was leaked early on, but has now been confirmed. It now is the Hot Wheels DLC. Will be located in the clouds above Mexico, along with new track pieces and biomes. Creator Lab will also be updated to make use of the new track pieces, which feature like water tracks, ice tracks, and new magnetic tracks as well. So that'd be interesting. Okay. So a new report says that Microsoft is pushing OEMs to not support hard drives as a primary storage device in pre-built Windows 11 PCs. Instead, using much faster SSDs in their place. Microsoft apparently has plans to do this by 2023. It's about time, really. Who uses a hard drive as a boot drive now, anyway?
Most
Really?
using NVMEs.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have an M.2 drive.
but it's literally just like a big storage drive.
Yeah,
it's a storage drive.
Yeah, you're either using NVMe or an SSD now.
Yeah.
So
as a boot drive, I mean that's what you're using.
Yeah. Good. E3 will return next year, which is good as a physical and digital show. So looking forward to that.
All right.
Big changes from what I hear though at E3 though.
Is there? I haven't read anything.
Big changes, I'll dig some more information out on that and we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, all right. We'll cover that next week. So by autumn 2024, all portable electronic devices sold in the EU will need to use USB Type-C for charging. The European Commission announced plans for this last year and has now issued a press release confirming the 2024 deadline. The aim is to reduce electronic waste and be more consumer-friendly by having just one common charger. They've said under the new rules, consumers will no longer need a different charging device and cable every time they purchase a new device, and can use one single charger for all their small and medium-sized portable electronic devices. The charging speed is also harmonized for devices that support fast charging, allowing users to charge the devices at the same speed with any compatible charger. Laptops will also need to use a USB Type-C, though there's an extra 40 months added to the autumn 2024 deadline. Naturally, the biggest impact will be Apple's iPhones and iPads.
This is directly targeted at Apple.
Which will no longer be able to use the lightning cables. That said, as its new devices can also be charged wirelessly, that could also become the new standard for Apple phones. I mean, it serves Apple right for trying to be different and innovative by having a different charger instead of thinking about the future. I think from what I read, the UK has not agreed to this yet. Naturally, because they're not in the EU anymore. Thanks, Brexit. So here is the Sony news. So in a recent PlayStation investor briefing, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan outlined the next few years of PlayStation's new business models. Soon, PlayStation will follow Xbox and branch far outside of traditional consoles by expanding onto mobile and PC. They also changed its PlayStation Plus subscription service by adding 2 new value-oriented tiers, PlayStation Plus Extra and PlayStation Plus Premium, with access to 740 games across 6 console generations. Despite all these changes, one thing will remain the same. Premium game releases won't come to PS Plus day one.
Sorry, did you say 6 console generations?
That's what the article said. I know that's wrong.
Dude, haven't they only got to PS5?
Unless they're throwing in PSP and Vita games into that.
They would be
6th generation.
They would be doing that, which means there's certain generations of consoles that don't exist on that list. If my math adds up correctly. So
no, 1, 2, 3, 4 PSP and PS Vita. That's 6.
What about 5 though?
Well, 5.
Yeah.
Tough luck. Anyway, so Jim Ryan gave some reasoning why PlayStation won't embrace the day and date release model that Xbox Game Pass uses. He said, this is going to be interesting. In terms of our assessment in what gamers want, it's quite simple. Gamers want great games. That is the first and overwhelming perspective that they have. How they are delivered is a secondary concern. I would say whether it's in absolute terms or in relative terms compared to our own history or compared to anything that competitors are managing, that we have never been in a stronger place with PlayStation Studios than we are now. We anticipate that position of strength and excellence will only continue and will only grow. We are in a virtuous cycle where success has allowed investment, which has generated more success, which is allowing us to invest more and will hopefully generate yet more success. That virtuous cycle, we feel that if we were to move to a different model, which involved putting our AAA games into a subscription service on day one, we feel there is a significant risk that the virtuous cycle that we've established so successfully would be compromised and potentially broken. We definitely feel that it is not in the best interest of the PlayStation gamer. That is our view on the particular issue. Pretty much, we want to make money.
We want you $100 for the game before we give it to you on the premium service.
Also, pretty much saying this is how it's always been done. Why would we change it? Why would we do something different when what we've been doing has been making us lots of money?
But more to the point is, he's not going to put a AAA title into the premium thing on day one.
Yes, now.
So go and buy it. Then when we stick it in, you have to pay for your subscription if you want to pay it on that pass.
So go and buy it so we can make some money. Then we can afford to put it on PS Now.
And then we can
lose a little bit of money, but still make money. Yeah. So they're scared. they're shit scared of changing whatever system they've got.
Have they not learned that Game Pass has created 25 million?
No, they haven't.
Like, look at the numbers. The numbers are there. They're making like 1,000 a week almost on Game Pass.
I know.
Fuck.
I know. To me,
Sony.
Game Pass is a fantastic venture. in the gaming world. Like,
I think
it far
Xbox
outweighs
with the
anything
Game
else.
Pass. So my thing with the Game Pass is, why take games out of it? Why not just keep adding to it? Is it a store thing? Because why do you keep cycling games out? Why not just put them in Game Pass and just leave them there? Like, who cares? Someone gets Game Pass. Why can't they play a game that was in their life?
But I feel like I feel like Xbox is trying to make an ultimate library of games. So the games that actually get taken out are, the least played, or that
Or
they're not
licenses
as
expire with the publishers.
yeah, or they're not as popular as certain other ones or whatnot. And
But all right, that's all well and good. But why not leave them there anyway?
it could be contract. It could be a contract.
You're making money off the Game Pass.
I have a feeling it comes down to contract and license agreements with the developers of those games that then get pulled. They probably are just like, well, we're not seeing the profits we were seeing versus just selling the game, so they no longer want their game on Game Pass.
Well, it could be like, we'll put our game into Game Pass for 18 months.
Just to
at the end of the 18 months, we'll pull back out because financially it's not a great deal for us, but it is exposure. So,
right.
And you still have the option to buy the game in Game Pass at a little bit of a discount.
You do,
but
I just think if you put it in Game Pass, obviously you should have some way of negotiating a deal where it stays in Game Pass.
I think there's
the amount of games I've had to delete from Game Pass because they're no longer in there is ridiculous. Like, you install a game, then you got to delete it because it's no longer.
The Crew 2, prime example. The Crew 2 launched on Game Pass day one. That is how I played it. It was on Game Pass for X amount of time. I think it was only like a year or something. And then off it went. Just, that was it. And it's just been riding solo ever since then.
If my one thing for Xbox, it would be to learn to negotiate to keep games in Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because people that come to Game Pass can play them. You're making money off the subscription. If by chance they don't want Game Pass, they can still buy it in the store anyway.
Yeah.
If it's on the store, why is it not in Game Pass is my point.
But I feel like there's a lot more to the Game Pass story.
There's probably more behind the scenes.
Yeah. There's a lot more technical stuff that we don't know about that obviously we can just make assumptions and be like, well, why did you do this?
Here's the thing. Like, these publishers wouldn't be putting their games on Game Pass if they weren't receiving some kind of a kickback from that.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know
100%.
what the percentage, how much they're making per install, what the algorithms are. That's something like the Xbox people know. And whatever that is, maybe some of those other developers, maybe they're not seeing the value in terms of exposure to the game versus the cost they're paying Microsoft versus what they're getting in return from the customers. Maybe it just doesn't balance out, and that's why they're pulling their game.
Yeah.
Maybe. The other thing, hurry up and buy EA so we can get rid of EA Play and we can just have all the EA games on Game Pass.
Right.
There's games I want to play, like F1. I can't because it's gone bloody EA Premium shit.
Yeah. Maybe it'll pull EA into line. Who knows?
Who knows?
You're a funny man. At least if you ever stop working retail, you got a job in comedy.
I'm pretty fucking good at that. Look, pretty funny looking.
And if Xbox can fix Activision, they can fix EA.
Well, they can fix Activision.
We'll see how that goes. I mean, we're still in the transition process of Activision Blizzard, so we'll see how.
There's your problem fixed with Activision.
I mean, he's going regardless. He's 100% going.
He's finished.
But anyway, on to the coup de grace. A free-to-play title, Diablo Immortal, has shown its true colors when it comes to pay to win. YouTube channel Bellular News calculated that to fully upgrade a character in the game, players would, in theory, have to spend a whopping £88,000 or $110,000 US on in-game currency. Diablo Immortal has 3 ways to enhance your characters: XP, equipment levels, and legendary gems. Getting your hands on legendary gems is ridiculously difficult. Earning them is totally random and very rare. Worst of all, top-rated gems are only available via pay-to-win options, ruling free-to-play players out of the equation altogether. As for those pay-to-win options, there's not even a guarantee that you'll get what you want. The gems can't be bought outright and can only be acquired via random drops from legendary chests, which are essentially loot boxes, the very thing that has been banned across numerous countries worldwide.
There was another story about someone who'd spent $25,000 and not managed to get one gem.
And there was another guy that spent $60,000 US, got a legendary gem. It was a Twitch streamer. As soon as he got the legendary gem, he deleted his account. $60,000 to finally get one. Deleted
it is ridiculous.
Wow. I mean,
I've actually played Diablo Immortal on the PC under the beta, and it's a mobile port. I mean, it's not even a beta; it's a mobile port. It's bad.
Like, I played it, and I was like, I want to I played it on the PC version because wouldn't install on my phone because I have a shitty phone. But I played the PC version. I'm like, I wanted to picture what would this experience be like if I was playing on my phone. And I went in and I was playing the game, and I'm like, if I had this on my phone, this would be a really fun game. I was actually having a lot of fun. You have the full story, you can just play the game, but then you just start getting bombarded with microtransaction after microtransaction after microtransaction. It's just I can't play this anymore. Because the thing was I actually was really having fun playing the game. But I could not stand the bombardment of microtransactions. It was just overwhelming how much they were prodding me to spend money on the game. And I was just no, I'm sorry. I can't.
Okay.
And it's a shame.
I did the dumb stuff. I actually installed it on my phone.
Yeah.
I removed it after 5 minutes. It's just no. I mean, I love Diablo. I remember Diablo when it first came out. I've played all through the Diablo series, the Diablo Battle Chest. I ground out Diablo 3 on every class. I did everything. That game, Diablo Immortal, made me sick to my stomach to even have the Diablo name on it.
Yeah.
It's vile. I'm sorry, but it is absolutely disgusting.
It sort of extends past pay to win, doesn't it? Because it's not pay to win. It's pay, and hopefully you might win something of use to you.
That's the thing. So you're not buying loot boxes. You're paying for these crests. So these crests, they're actually, you earn one in game every 10 days. So every 10 days of real time, you get a legendary crest, right? But they can also be bought for $3 a piece on the store. So you either have a chance every 10 days to get a legendary gem, or you can just spend $3. So then these crests are basically keys that open a rift. You go into the rift and you play the game for 5 to 10 minutes. You kill all the guys in there, you kill the boss, and then you get your loot. And so it has a less than 0.0001% chance of actually dropping a 5-star max level gem. So they did the math. It was like Bellier said, $100,000 to max out a character, or 56 years of time mathematically if you just waited every 10 days to go in and do this.
My thing is, it pay to win, or are we starting to look like a legalized gambling in game?
It's gambling. This is gambling. Literally gambling.
And it's a way to suck the kids in.
But it's got 800% value.
Yeah.
There's kids playing these games that are going to like V-Bucks, is exactly the same, similar sort of thing. Mom, get me legalize gambling for kids.
It was the same as the crates on Rocket League, back in the day. You
is
pay for the
legalized
keys
gambling.
to unlock the crates, and you might get something of worth.
There's no guarantee, and unless they put it as a guarantee, like you will get this, this, and this from this chest, it's basically gambling, and kids can do this shit.
Yeah, but it's the you give us X amount of money, and I mean, there's no guarantee that you're going to win.
No,
that is gambling. That is gambling in a nutshell. You cannot deny that.
If you could just like buy a gem, it wouldn't be gambling. But the fact that you're paying a chance at a gem makes it gambling, and it's predatory as hell.
But it's also like, there's kids, under the legal age of gambling that are playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're targeting the kids. I mean, shit, at that point, I may as well take my son down the casino and give him $20 and say, there you go fuck off. Go and hit some buttons. Go see what you can do. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
They're targeting kids.
This is wrong.
They're targeting parents that don't know what's going on and leave their credit card unlocked on the account that the kids can just be like, oh, I hit the button, spend money. That's it.
It's wrong.
This is the whole it's sort of along the lines of the whole GTA 5 thing. When GTA 5 first came out, all these kids wanted to buy it, but they couldn't because they needed an adult to buy it. And the adults would buy it, and they'd be like, do you know what's in this game? They're like, oh, I don't know, my son just wanted it. And, they'd try and explain it and be like, oh, I still don't get it, but I'll get it anyway, Yeah. And then they find out, you can murder prostitutes and all this, do drug deals and shit, and they're like, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, well, yeah, you did. Like, you got it. Come on.
Yeah. Diablo Immortal is nothing more than legalized gambling. Sorry, it is fucking wrong on every aspect across the market.
Yeah.
If you can legally target an 8-year-old child to gambling, no matter how big a brand you are, you need to be shut the fuck down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's not right.
And that is the reason why loot boxes have been banned in many, many countries. Because of that reason. It is gambling.
Well, I hope they ban them in the US soon. Because stop it. Boxes are terrible.
I'm really vocal about the whole. Yeah. Like, I get it if it's a box and it's a reward that you get from within the game. Fine, totally get it. Play the game. I don't care. Kid can play for 8 hours a day. But a second you put money into any transaction and it's only a chance, it's totally wrong. Totally wrong.
No, absolutely. No. And that's sorry to end on such a bombshell, but
that's interesting though.
That was a good one.
Interesting is the word for it.
But yeah. All right. Well, if we are going to wind this one up, so don't forget, there's all the socials, the Discord. Come and join the Discord. Come join us on the show. Be great to have you there. Remember, Yakes won't be with us now for a few weeks. You might see him in and out this season, but he's still going to be with us throughout the time. We've got some big shows coming up this big subjects. We tested the water last season with Trovo. We're going to hit with some hitting this season. Won't just be news and stuff, but we're definitely going to try and hit some big. Again, hit us up on the Twitter. Keep up to date when we go live. Hit the YouTube. Hit the bell. Keep up with the shows. If you missed today, it will be up later on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
So make sure you drop one there.
Give it a couple of hours. That should be right.
Again, Sated Lord, joined again by Speed Demon and Yakes 80. So thank you so much, guys. We will see you next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at home on Glimesh. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.